Hello and welcome to the Swansea Finishing School from the Champion Soccer Academy. Let's get straight into it. The overview is that we're going to be introducing TCSA's new Swansea Finishing School Scholarship Programme, which is going to put Swansea back on the map where it belongs for producing reams of talent, which has been done in the past. It's been done in recent years, but we want to add to that. We believe we can produce more players. I know that in my heart. We can certainly help Swansea City and Welsh football produce more top-class players and people. And then we're going to get into how you can be the main player in creating future stars from right here in little old Swansea. So who are we and what do we do? Well, we are professional coaches with over 100 years of experience between us. And we help football-mad youngsters and their families. We do a lot of work with families behind the scenes who are suffering with a lack of attention, support, and opportunity to meet their full potential. So I've been a player and a coach at all these levels, and what I found is that it's sink or swim. You're either good enough or you're not, in the team or out. You've got talent or you haven't, and it's left in the lap of the gods as to whether you make progress. So what players need is a pillar of support. They need someone in their corner, just like a boxer, who's going to look after their interests, get to know them, what makes them tick, and have the knowledge and tools to actually be able to help them, so they can guarantee they make progress. So we're known for 3 unique offerings. Number 1, small groups, so that we can give individual attention, which means that we guarantee that players get more confident and improve faster and easier over time. We have a professional coaching team, and we combine our approach with personal development. We believe that better people make better players. So when we talk about better people, we're talking more intelligent, more disciplined, with a more positive, resourceful attitude, who can handle themselves on and off the pitch. One affects the other. So progress tracking and follow-up is the next one. So many players, when everything's going great, everything's great. When they get stuck, they have no ways of coping, no ways of problem solving. And that's where the kind of help that we offer can help them with those sticking points. So I'm Frankie Burrows. I'm the director of the Champion Soccer Academy in Swansea. We started officially in 2012. I left my position as academy coach with Swansea City in 2011. I was also a performance coach, working with various age groups, including the youth team. And the work that I did at the club was the catalyst to set up the Champion Soccer Academy. I did some research which was published in the English Journal of Coach Education, in the work that I did with 3 top English Premier League clubs, top European clubs as well. And it was a groundbreaking study on the philosophical approaches they have in developing elite players. So that formed a lot of our model. It's not the only thing. There's been many other things that I've added included in that is the experience of not only myself since then, but the experience of the excellent coaches we've had. And some things that are good for you to know. We've had 26 players now progress to pro clubs from our academy. We've come away from the Welsh Super Cup 3 times with honours. We've developed over 600 players now who've been developed with more confidence and skills for football and life. As far as we're aware, outside of the pro academies, we're the first player-friendly controlled environment in Wales where we don't allow parents and supporters to shout out, put undue pressure during matches and training, so that the players can develop at their own rate. And the integrity between what they're learning and what they're expected to put into practice is kept, and the relationship between coaches and players, the sanctity of it is preserved. So we have 5 ex-pro academy coaches on our team at any one time. There's sometimes more than that. And we have genuine world-class experience with the likes of Malcolm Cook, who regularly attends our camps and has a big part in our coach education within the academy. Develop the likes of Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman, talk a little bit more about our experience in a second. But we do have a games program, which is on our advanced program, which is what the Swansea Finishing School fits into. So the games program is a very important part of that. And as well as the games program, we have programs and experience where we work with top level athletes, not just footballers. You know, I've been fortunate to work with Premier League professional players. Sean Davis, who became the World Taekwondo Champion through my performance coaching. And I'm no expert in Taekwondo itself, but the transferable skills helped her to bring out the best in her performance when she needed it. I've also worked in rugby with professional players and coaches. So back to our teams. We do play regularly every year against pro academy teams. These are some of the teams that we've played against and continue to have a relationship with. So we've developed 26 players now that have been signed by professional clubs. There's Kevin Bloniarczyk, East Side boy like myself, from Swansea. Ryan Bevan, a Talbot boy, was with us for around about 3 years. There's his mother Tracy. You know, these players, they weren't superstars when they started. They're not superstars yet, but they are making great headway. Ryan is now with the Swans under-18s. Came as a very shy, timid player who beat himself up when he made mistakes, and as his mother said, struggled to fit in new environments with new people. Just go back to that for a sec, but he learned to brush off those mistakes and learned to express himself. Tracy, his mother, loved the environment that we had for him, which was all about Ryan growing at his own pace, getting the support he needed. And now he's a stronger player who learned to deal with knockbacks. That's one of the biggest reasons, she says, why Ryan is where he is today, playing for Swans Academy. So Caleb Hughes was with us for, again, around about 3 years. He's now a Welsh international, under-16s, Cardiff under-18s, playing up. And here's his dad, Grant. Again, we've built up a great relationship with his parents, which is so important and will be so important for the players in the new Swansea Finishing School, because to get the best out of the player in the 21st century, the parents have to be on board. So as he says here, Caleb was reluctant to work on his weaknesses and get outside his comfort zone. So, you know, he was confident in the things he was good at, but he now identifies the importance of making and setting goals, you know, identifying areas to improve. So his attitude has changed. He knows he needs to work hard to become a better player. He also encourages teammates, whereas before he'd quite easily get frustrated. So he's developed socially immensely, his dad says, and he's a lot more confident around new people, and, you know, putting his hand up and asking questions in group situations where before he was almost mute. And this is so important for players trying to get somewhere in football, because what you can do with the ball is only a small part of the jigsaw. Being able to walk into a dressing room with people you don't know, feel comfortable in your own skin, make eye contact, shake hands, and, you know, believe that you're there to show what you can do and contribute, is so key, you know, and it holds so many players back. I certainly saw that in my time with Swansea City. Just to highlight some of the female players, we've got Hannah Thomas. She is our most successful female player to date. So just to let you know, we're not going to highlight everybody that's come through our academy. Like I say, we've had 26 players signed by pro clubs, hundreds and hundreds of players churned out with more confidence and a better attitude for life. But Hannah is one of the female players that have come through. So why pro football coaching? If you're a football person, you might already have strong opinions on this, but I can tell you that our experience is that finally, you know, we are one of the organisations who are making changes in football, and, you know, football's playing catch up for years. You know, parents would invest in karate, for example, or other martial arts to help their kids with self-defense, personal development, fitness, all the benefits that you get from sport. Swimming is another one. Tennis. You know, people understand that if you want your child to thrive and gain all the benefits from sport, it doesn't just happen by throwing them into a team. Certainly not a team run by people with very limited qualifications. So just like in schools, where parents these days are investing in tutoring, private tutoring, if their child is falling behind, or just has ambitious goals in a certain area, like maths or English. That's what's needed. Same in football now. We're playing catch-up. TCSA is at the heart of that in Swansea, in providing that, not only professional coaching, but also the personal development and people skills that are so important in the modern world to be able to adapt to the constant and never-ending changes that are going on. So, these are the cogs of development as we see it. Number one is drive. If you're going to become a top player and top person, you're going to need to put in a lot of practice over many, many years. There's a lot of debate about exactly how many. We don't really focus on that too much. We know that it's a long time. But enjoyment, environment, and role models are key to that. Enjoyment for learning. We want players who really get a kick out of learning and developing themselves. An environment where it's okay to make mistakes, learn at your own pace, and at the same time have high standards set and to be challenged. If we can get on the same wavelength as the parents in the way that we support the child, then we have a big chance, in our opinion, of getting the best out of them. So we're interested in anything that can accelerate the player's development. And we realise we're not the only people involved. Us as coaches, parents, other mentors in the child's life are key. So managing that process is very important. So the opportunity then comes later. Put the time in as a player to develop yourself. Put the practice in, which is really helped by getting professional coaching. Then opportunities will come. Some players do go in early, 6, 7, 8 years old. Some that won't suit them, and they can go in much later, between 12 and 18. But they can only do that if they put the practice in, if they've had the coaching, and that's what a lot of players are missing out on. So here's the big question: can Swansea produce top-class players? Well, it's been shown in the past that they've done that. Society has changed, football has changed massively, so there are things that we need to do to adapt in order to produce more players who can go on to the top level. So just to highlight some things that Swansea's achieved in the past, especially thanks to some key people. Joe Sykes was an ex-player turned developer of talent in Swansea, and he produced, helped to produce a golden era where, player after player was churned out on the production line of talent. You've got Trevor Ford on the left there, Cliffy Jones in the middle, absolute legend at Tottenham and Swansea and Wales. Terry Medwin on the right, also a Spurs legend. The Charles brothers, John with Juventus, Mel with Arsenal and Swansea, and then you've got the Allchurch brothers, absolutely top players for Wales and Swansea City. So, it can be done, it has been done. In the 70s, Harry Griffiths was a key person in developing, the likes of Alan Curtis, Nigel Stevenson, Robbie James, and so on. And in that era as well, we had a Swansea boy who came through, I think, at Burnley, in Leighton James. So talent, these clusters of talent have been produced, and we can get back to that and maybe even go a step further. I believe that in my heart, we can do that. So 2030 is a nice round number. It's a World Cup year. We've already got 5 Welsh internationals at the age grade, with the likes of Ryan Bevan, Bailey Owen, Caleb Hughes, and so on. So why can't we produce full Welsh internationals? I can't see any reason why not. So the purpose of the Swansea Finishing School project is to recapture the imagination and the spirit of past generations that produced so much talent in Swansea, and produce more top people that we can be proud of. To provide the extra support that's missing for so many players, the mentoring, the performance coaching, as well as all the tactical, technical and physical development that's required. And a key part of it is to make the project sustainable so that players can continue to access this programme over a long period. We're setting up agreements with parents, with pro clubs and with agents to make sure that there's a kickback coming from all the success we have so that we can replenish funds that are going into the Swansea Finishing School. So there's 3 reasons why this is needed now. Economic forces. Players are being priced out of it. We've seen that even with our own academy now. We have a model which is expensive. Yes, we could change it. We could make it a lot cheaper, but then we wouldn't be able to make the impact that we have had and continue to have on our players, the small groups, the professional coaching, all of the extra work that goes into developing these players is very expensive in terms of time, money, resources. But players are being priced out of it. Parents, for whatever reason, can't access it, so the players are missing out. And coaching is such a huge factor now. So we've seen that players who are getting the right level of coaching have such an advantage now. Whereas players of the past, it was pretty much a level playing field. Whoever played the most on the beach in the park would have the advantage. Whereas now, kids aren't getting out, as we all know. They're playing on their PlayStations, they're playing on their gadgets. But the players who are really playing a lot and learning a lot are having that impact. So, dream killers. This is the problem for so many players. They are playing lots of games, especially if they're in that chasing pack trying to get into academy level, but they aren't sharpening their game. As Abraham Lincoln said, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Well, so many players are out there spending the whole 6 hours trying to chop down the tree. Okay, getting to where they want to get to in football is the tree, chopping it down. They need to spend more time sharpening their axe, improving in their game, technically, tactically, physically, mentally, socially, so that they can actually elevate themselves. So the dream killer number 2, competition is now worldwide. The previous generations that come through, they've only been competing against local players or players from the region. Things have changed massively there. So they have to be better. And that's why so many players are ending up in the graveyard of football ambition, wondering why their dream didn't come true. They need a reality check in some ways, but they also need the support to get there. So just like in other sports, swimming, boxing, tennis, athletics, the list goes on there. Gymnastics is another one. If you want to be a top, say, Olympian, then, everyone knows you need to put the time in, you need to get a lot of support. But players outside the pro academy, they're not getting that support, they're not getting that pathway. It's just left in the lap of the gods. Dream killer number 3, internal barriers, lack of confidence, support and guidance for parents, self-awareness, and self and social mastery. So these things are absolutely key, but so many players are missing out on the support they need to overcome these barriers. So our scholarship program solves this problem. So the advanced level, we have 5 players, 5 playing hours per week, which includes training sessions, camps, which there's 5 of a year, 5-day camps, clinics on skills, workshops on confidence, attitude, nutrition, lifestyle. We get the parents involved in those workshops as well. Team building days for the actual teams that the players are playing in, and up to 44 games per year. The next level up then is everything you get on the advanced program, and we add in one-to-one tuition as well on accelerated skills. The top level is the game changer. That's where we leave no stone unturned, and we go into the depth and detail on performance skills, really helping players get the best out of themselves, with the young players working with the families as well. So it's a very in-depth, comprehensive program, proven to work. And that's the type of stuff that we've done with the likes of Sean Davis, top professional players, rugby players, and so on. So the finishing school extras, they're going to get, as well as the monthly member days, the mentoring, extra mentoring from the likes of Malcolm Cook, other top coaches and ex-players. Pro visits, so that they can go into academies and see what it's all about. So if and when, and in many cases it will be when, they go in on trial, nothing will be a surprise for them. Chance to impress scouts, so actually playing on our games program in front of scouts and academy coaches. So we are in a position already where we have amazing support from a man called Phil Busby and his wife Paula. As he says here, he's from Mackenzie International. We are a business. We are in business ourselves, so we appreciate when we come across a professional organisation run by dedicated people who have a passion to look after our children. So we met Phil because we coach his son Buzz. They travel in all the way from Pembroke. So as he says here, the support they give our son is absolutely paramount. They saw the development in him. So to get a true scholarship where all the top class training you could want is paid for was previously only available at pro clubs. So now it's an opportunity with the scholarship program for children to take that next step, and you can get everything you need here now. So that's why they're doing it, as he says. It's something that's not just a shot in the dark. It's something that they're passionate about, and as he says, we're fortunate to be in a position where we can help push it forward. We can see where this is going. As far as we're aware, TCSA is one of the best organisations you can get involved in. You've got professional coaches that are well qualified, been with major clubs. This is the place to be. So Phil has got the ball rolling. We're now looking for more people to come on board with us as guardian angels of our scholarship program. And what you will receive as a guardian angel is monthly updates from players, knowing and seeing how their lives are changing in front of their eyes, in front of your eyes and our eyes. Training and match visits, so you get to come into our training, come and watch the matches. You get video updates, written reports from the players and the parents, photos, opportunities to mentor the players as well. Phil has played a big role in that and has been a huge asset to us. Not that he's a football person, but he's a successful person, and the way he's helped our parents understand what it takes to really develop just success in all walks of life has been really valuable, and I'm sure it would be with you watching this as a business leader, as a community leader. So you will have a fund set up in your name, so the exposure for your business and your projects will be there. We do have some requirements which are key, so it's very important that you fit with our values. We're looking for dreamers and doers, people who really believe in youth, believe in the potential of young people, and to back that up with support, being a team player, working with us in collaboration, just like we encourage our parents to work with us. We aren't the experts in every single way. We need a team. Every player needs that team behind them, and we want you to be a part of that. So the season's fast approaching. So now is the time to get involved so that we can support these players from the beginning of this season. We're starting, our official programme starts in October. So the 2030 vision is to have 10 full Welsh internationals, 50 professionals. We're up to 5 already, so we are on track with that. World-class facilities, world-class coaches academy. We've already developed our own coaches to a high level, and we want to produce a lot more. So we're very excited and grateful for you to be watching this video, taking the time out. And if you've watched this far, then I'm betting that you are just as passionate as me about seeing kids do well. And I'd love you to take the next step now by getting on a call with me and discussing how we can take this forward in partnership. And I'm really excited. Hopefully you can hear my passion coming across for my academy and what we can do with these kids. And I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much.